'Cause maybe the night that my dreams will let me know all the stars are closer.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Judith and let's create this beautiful look. First off, I went into her skin with my micellar water and a cotton pad to take out all the dirt on her skin to leave me with a very clean canvas, and I made sure it dries before going into it my green tea Kiss Beauty hydrating spray to give me hydration, just to hydrate the skin and make the skin look really fresh and feel really fresh. I didn't let it absorb itself. I used the brush to just blend that into the skin. Then I went into her skin for more hydration with this Omarico BD serum. I applied that on her skin, then blend that into her skin with my hand. I make sure my palms are really washed before using it on her skin. So I make sure it's really blended before going into it with the next product, which is my moisturizer. This is the Mismetic moisturizer. This moisturizer is a little bit oil infused. We are working with a dry skin, so this works perfectly well for me. I apply that with a brush first. I just make sure it gets to every part of her skin, then going into it with my hand to blend that in properly. If you use your hand to blend in your skincare products, you'll never go back to using your brushes. This is really perfect. Your hand works better. Then I let it absorb properly into her skin before going into it with the Omari Code hydrating primer. Remember, we are working with a dry skin, so a mattifying primer is a no-no. So hydrating primer is your best friend when working on a dry skin. I just used my brush to just dab that into the skin. Then I went into her skin with the Nuban Beauty Illuminator just to give me glow beneath my foundation. I applied that a little bit with my beauty blender. This beauty blender works perfectly well for me when applying illuminator. You can work with your palm, your brush, anyone that works for you. So going into her skin with these two foundation, the Nuban Beauty foundation, I mixed it with my Milani foundation because it's oil infused, because it works best for a dry skin. So I take my time to blend in that foundation. Like, I really take my time because I'm not rushing to anywhere. And if you rush it, trust me, you're not going to have like a very clean blend. It's better to just take your time to blend that and make sure it's well blended into the skin. When picking foundation for your skin type or the skin type of whoever you're working on, make sure it's their shade and their undertone. Don't just focus on the shade, also pay attention to the undertone as well. This will help you get a very good base. That way your makeup won't be looking pale by the time you're done, because if you get the foundation shade right and get the undertone wrong, it's going to be looking like it's not your shade. So we don't want that. So for the blush, I'll be using this Alvo lipstick. It's like a lip stain, it's a matte lip stain. So I just apply on the back of my palm, pick it in my beauty blender and just apply it on the skin. I'm not done blending the other side. I just, because I had like so much on the beauty sponge, so I just placed it on the other part of her face. So after blending, I just take the excesses to her forehead and her nose area. So to contour her skin, because she's really light skin, so have to go light handed with contour. So I opted for a bronze shade instead, which is my L'Oreal foundation in N8. This is just very perfect for me. When working on a light skin, I recommend you bronze instead of contouring. When you bronze, it just gives the shade this uniform look and the sun-kissed glow. But when you contour, which is not bad, it just gives you that sharp feature. And because this person you're working on is light skin, you might go wrong with it. So bronzing is your best friend. So make sure it's well blended before going into the next step, which is the concealer. So to highlight her face, I'll be using my Younger Beauty concealer in SMC1. This is like the lightest shade, and I just really want the under eyes really bright. At the end of this, it's not going to look really bright, but I just want the under eyes to be well highlighted. So I apply that first with a brush, like blend it out a bit with the same small blending brush, then go ahead with my beauty sponge to blend that in completely. So I blend that in, I really take my time. And when working with a Younger Beauty concealer, I let it just get tacky for a while. Unlike my Nuban Beauty concealer that I blend immediately. Like, I blend my Nuban Beauty concealer as I apply it. But when working with the Younger Beauty concealer, I let it get tacky for a while. This way it gives me like a very smooth blend. When I blend, it gives me more coverage, and also it's easier for me to blend that way. So try this and thank me later.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just.
So after properly blending, it's time to set. So I mix these two setting powder, the Sacha Buttercup and the RCMA. I want the RCMA because it has the shade I want, and the Sacha Buttercup because it has the undertone I want. So I mix these two setting powder. I always mix my setting powder. If you have never tried mixing a setting powder before, try this. You will really love it, trust me. So this is just what I got with a mixture of the RCMA and the Sacha Buttercup. So I set every part of the face that I conceal, and also after setting that, I just did like a reverse contour like I'm doing presently. This is going to intensify the contour, like the bronzer we did. It's going to intensify it. So I did her brows off camera. I have a detailed brow tutorials. I'm going to leave the link in the description for you to catch up. So now I'm setting the brow area, and this is where I contour her nose. While setting the brow area, I just set with a lighter shade on the brow bone. So to do her eyes, we're opting for a matte look. This is the eyeshadow primer. I'm using the Tara eyeshadow base, and I'm using my Inglot eyeshadow palette to achieve this look. So we're going for a matte look. After placing my eyeshadow primer, making sure it's well blended, I went in with this orange shade on the lid because this is going to be the main focus. This is the eyeshadow that is going to be on the lid. So I went in with the orange shade. I placed it on the eyelid. When working with a matte eyeshadow, just place and don't drag. So I'm using my blending brush to get like a more intense orange on the outer corner of the eye. So I'm just blending it into the crease. I'm trying to like build up colors because this is going to be a really colorful eyes compared to what I used to do, but well blended. So I just make sure I really blend and leave no demarcation. So I'm getting intense with the outer corner of the eyes. This is like a very dark shade of purple. So I'm just building up the outer corner of the eyes because I don't want it so much. Then at this point, I start mixing the brown from the palette, from the Inglot palette I showed in this video. So I just keep intensifying the outer corner of the eyes. This is the purple again. So I was just, what I did basically was just mixing the purple and the brown. So I went in with another blending brush, a smaller blending brush, to erase every demarcation I might have. So now I'm blending again with the same blending brush I used to apply the dark purple on the outer corner of the eyes. So now I'm going to be smudging the under eyes with a brown eyeshadow. I mixed it with a little bit of purple. Like I said earlier, this is going to be like a really colorful eyes compared to what I used to do. So to give the face a lift, I went into the outer corner of the eyes with my setting powder just to give the face a lift. This is really important when doing your makeup. It just gives your face like a perfect lift and gives it like a perfect shape. So to finish up her face, I'm using my Nuban Beauty mineral powder. This powder, if you have been following me on this channel, you know this is like my favorite powder of all time. So I'm using it to just finish up her face, to set every part of her face. So taking that really easy because I don't want so much product on her skin. So to intensify the bronzer, I'm using like a darker shade of the Nuban Beauty powder to intensify the bronzer. So now I'm just basically blending the under eyes with a smaller blending brush to take out the excesses. So I'm using like an exact powder shade in this video to just dust it out. I'm not picking so much product. Make sure you're not picking so much product so you don't leave the under eyes looking cakey. So I set the brow bone as well because like I said, no demarcation shall be left seen on the face. So to add volume to her lashes before placing the false lashes, I went into her eyelashes with my Wink Beauty Volume Instant Volume Mascara to add volume to her lashes and dust out excess excess fallout from the eyeshadow on her lashes before placing the false lashes. So for the false lashes, I'm using my Wink Beauty lashes. This is like my favorite lashes of all time. I lined her eyes before placing the lashes, but I did it like really tiny because I don't want to have like a very bold eyeliner. So I used my tweezers to apply these lashes just to make sure my hand or I don't leave fingerprints on her face. So after applying the false lashes, I did the same thing on the other eyes. Now I'm lining her eyes on top of the lashes. I didn't do that earlier, and I'm trying to like add wing. I didn't do that earlier because I didn't want to have like a bold liner. So after lining the top, I went ahead to line her waterline. But before lining her waterline, I make sure my Beyond Beauty gel liner gets tacky before lining the outer line, because when it doesn't get tacky, it makes the eye like irritates the eyes. But when it gets tacky, you have a perfect product to work with. So I'm trying to achieve like a dewy finish. So this my mauve setting mist like is like a perfect setting spray for me. So I close her eyes with my powder because I didn't want it to reduce the intensity of the eyes. So I let it dry up almost completely before sealing in with my beauty blender. So for the lip, I'm using the Avo lip stain and the Milani lip stain. So I use the Avo in the middle of the lips, and I use the Milani to line the lips. So this is basically what I did, and this red is just really perfect. The Milani red, I really love this red lipstick so much. It does the job for me all the time. And the Avo lipstick, it's red, but it has this, it looks like orange when you mix it with another red, and this is just what I'm trying to achieve. And this lip is popping, guys. So because I don't want the lip to be matte, I went in with my Eye Magic lip palette. It's like a cream lipstick and it's glossy, so this is just really perfect for me. Instead of going in with a clear gloss, when you go in with like a glossy red, it pops the lip so much that it looks edible. So this red lip combo is your perfect go-to red lip anytime, any day. Make sure it's well blended. Don't overline, and even when you are overlining, make sure it's well blended so it doesn't look tacky on the lip, and with that you're good to go. So I just want to darken the lip a bit, just line it with a brown. So I'm using my Nuban Beauty concealer to do that. This is, I don't know what to say, but this lip combo is just perfect. Trust me, it's just really perfect, and this is giving what it should give. So to highlight her face and intensify her blush, I'm using my Tehila Beauty blush stroke highlighter palette. To intensify the blush, I'm using the shade Choi. I think that's how it's pronounced. That is the shade Choi, I guess. And to highlight, I'm using the shade Milk and Fantasy. So I just highlight her cheekbone, the T-zone, and just a little bit on her brow bone. So I'm using my TM Essential Cheek Glaze just to intensify the highlighter and give me that perfect dewy finish I want. So I went ahead to spray the face again. Sorry, I did that off camera. I went ahead to spray the face again because I just wanted to have that dewy look. So I let it dry up almost completely before sealing that in with my beauty sponge. This look is giving like perfect. So I added stones to the eyes because I just want to, you know, take this look to another level. So I'm using my classic eyelash glue to do that. That glue is really perfect. So I just place it on the eyes, let it get tacky for a while, then place the stones, and this is the look. So to add volume to her lower lashes, I'm using my Wink Beauty Instant Volume Mascara to add volume to her lower lashes. Make sure you don't forget this step, like it really takes your makeup to another level. And this is the finished look, guys. Oh my god, this look looks yummy. Like I literally want to kiss my screen right now, guys. This is the finished look, and at this we've come to the end of this video. Please give it a very big thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. Turn the post notification to my post so you'll be the first to be notified when I post new videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.